Alright, so today I have some models from Super Dungeon Explorer. I finally finished painting them. The first one up is the Royal Paladin. So not much to say. Pretty simple because they're kind of small models and they're like chibi style, so they have big heads, small bodies, so not a lot of room for detail. I didn't want to make it too detailed because it's anime style, so there's not really, like that, Warhammer Fantasy or Warhammer 40K style to it where you can do like extra highlights. I mean, you could, but it would get away from that anime style. Um, so the hardest parts were their eyes because they're like big, but still the models are kind of small. So biggest surface area are their heads, but their eyes doing like all the little details in there is kind of tough. This one's my favorite hairstyle of them all because it's just cool, spiky, like Super Saiyan style haircut. It's pretty cool. All right, so the next one up is the Claw Tribe Barbarian. Um, I like this one's skin because it's like a reddish like tint to it. Um, and I am a fan of the way it plays in the game. Um, she has a cool attack, special attack, which is called Rage, which is after every square you move this turn, immediately make one melee attack. You may not make a berserk attack on the turn you rage. Barbarian's armor is reduced to um, 2 blue armor until her next activation. So basically, you might not know what that means, but basically, it's you activate it, you spend all her actions, and she basically spins around and slaps everyone around for as many times as she moves, which is up to 6 times. So potentially, you can hit things up to 6 times, and that's my favorite. Um, this one's pretty simple because she's kind of just all skin, a lot of hair, and an axe with cloth all over it. So it was pretty simple to do this one. My favorite when it comes to her stats. All right, next up is the Ember Mage. Um, so this one, I think her eyes came out the best, only because the expression kind of came out really kind of cool, I thought. Um, she's like a fire mage, basically. And so you got the little staff there with the little glow effect. And it's got orange hair, like a dark reddish kind of like robe going on with orange hair. Um, this one, I think the expression came out the best. And next up, we have the Hex Cast Sorceress. This one, I like the model. It just took the longest because she's got a lot of stuff to her. She's got like a big flowing cape thing behind her. Got a lot of hair. Even though the hair was simple, whatnot, it just took the longest. She's got a big staff with a crystal ball in there that glows. Um, though I think she turned out pretty good anyway. Um, yep, this is the Hexcast Sorceress. All right, up next we have the Hearthsworn Fighter. He's basically a dwarf hero. Um, he is shorter than most of the other models, but not by much. Again, because it's chibi style, anime type, hex arcade style board game. Um, a lot to it, I know. Um, I think his hair texture came out the best, just because the way the model was set up. That's just the way it came out. Like the spiky hair, Royal Paladin, his hair is just kind of straight back, and the Barbarian's hair is like straight. There's no real detail to it. This one had detail in the beard and back of his head there. So his grayish beard kind of came out. I was aiming for like a Gimli look. All the models that I painted up are pretty much the same style as the card portrays them as. I didn't want to go too far and, make my own style to it. I just didn't want to go overboard and mess up and then frustrate myself. So I just kind of stuck to the color schemes that they had on them. Simplified most of them actually too. He is not my favorite model, nor my favorite character here. But I mean, they're all pretty balanced. I mean, he's immune to knockdown, immune to poison, so he's pretty tough, and he's got some okay attacks. Next up is a pretty good damage dealing model. This is the Glimmer Dusk Ranger. Um, I like her expression on her face. On the card, she's like smiling and she's got a very cute look to her. But on the model itself, it looks like she's kind of like raging and really aiming for that headshot on the model. I don't know if it's just the way the paint kind of fell in there texture wise and just kind of how it shaped up when it finally came out. Maybe the other models look a little happier, but mine kind of looks like it's yelling and kind of pissed off. Still cool though. I like it. She's got a really neat attack, special attack called Sparkle Burst. Um, and it's a 2 attack out of 3, so it takes up 2 of your 3 attacks. Does burst 1, so you pretty much find a good clumped up enemy model units that are next to each other, and you fire and does a whole lot of damage. So she's pretty cool in that regard. She's ranged, so it's good as well. It's good to take a ranged model. All right, and this is my overall favorite painted model in the way he looks, only because he just has the expression on his face that's just kind of like, really. I don't know how to explain it, but you can look at it and judge for yourself. But this is the Deep Root Druid. On the card, he looks a little chubby on the card, and he's got like a scar across his nose area, but it doesn't really show up on the model anywhere, so I didn't really want to go for that. Um, he's cool because he comes with two. Well, he's a 2 model part kind of character because he's got like his own poison, strangle, thorn, briar armor kind of stuff like a druid, kind of like World of Warcraft kind of deal. Um, and he also has a shapeshift ability, which is cool. He turns into a different card or a different character called Angry Bear, which I have not painted up yet, unfortunately. Um, but it's kind of represented in the model itself, that headpiece and the back piece. You can kind of tell he turns into a giant white, well, as whatever color you want to paint him, bear with chains on him, and he's big and scary, and it's a really big model kind of thing. It just has better attacks and armor as opposed to his human form or his half elf hero form, which does like ranged and like magical attacks, and it requires like willpower and stuff like that. Um, so I think he's the most chill looking model. Next up, we have the Riftling Rogue, which is a Demonkin hero. This one's rogue style, overall favorite because of the fact that it's a rogue, and I am a fan of rogues, assassins, and all that kind of knife work, kind of quick, agile kind of characters. Have not yet to play it though, unfortunately. Um, so this one's like a demon kin, so I guess it has like on the card, of course, it has like purple skin, some horns, and some red eyes. Um, she was probably the easiest model to paint, only because she's wearing black and nothing too extravagant like some of the other models. White hair, which is pretty simple. A couple layers of white, make sure there's no streaking kind of deal. Again, not too much to her, just some knives, a little bit of black here and there. Of course, she's very rogue oriented, kind of have like a thing where she can pop smoke kind of thing and make it hard for people to hit her ranged wise. She has a backstab ability, which is very rogue. It does massive damage, +1 green dice attack. So it's 1 attack with a +1 green dice, but massive damage means as many times as you succeed your dice roll against someone else's, like either armor or their dice roll, that's as many wounds they take. So if you are against the boss and you use that and you hit, like the difference is like 3, then you dealing 3 wounds, which is pretty neat. And she has a cool potion ability which lets her teleport or let someone else teleport. So she's nifty to have in case you're in sticky situations, and She has a cool luck ability as well, which lets you change a heart into a potion if you wish, or a potion into a heart, which is good if you are down to the wire and you need a heart or a potion in any case. So those are my models for Super Dungeon Explorer, minus the Angry Bear model, which I'll be painting soon. I will have the chests painted up soon as well, and then I'm going to be picking up some, I think some red spray paint or dark red or some kind of red to prime the enemy models, the minions and denizens, because they're kind of like red. They're kobolds, I guess. And kobolds can pretty much be, whatever little creatures. You know, kobolds are different in different games. And they're red in this game, so I'm going to prime them red to make it easy on myself. And the dragon, of course, is a fire dragon, so why wouldn't I paint him red? And then there's dragon wormlings and hatchlings and stuff like that, so they're red too. So most of these dungeon stuff in here are fire based for this game. There'll be expansions. I don't know. It seems like a rock type, fire type expansion, so we'll see. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Comment below.